and welcome back to my Flosstube. I know it's been a while. It is a little bit later than I had anticipated on filming. I meant to film when I got back from vacation, but ended up having finals week and term papers due, so that got pushed back, and then I did film and then accidentally deleted all the footage. And even though I could recover the footage, I had done a bit in that week, so I might as well just film another one. I don't have too terribly much to share today. I have 2 new starts, 1 fully finished, a finish, a whip, and I think that's it. No update on wedding photo project today. I'll be picking that back up next weekend, so hopefully next time you see me I'll have some progress to share on that. Let's start with finishes. I was able to fully finish this landscape. So as I mentioned in my last video, I ended up going on vacation. My husband and I went up to visit family in Indiana, and we took an Amtrak train, which took 2 days to go there and 2 days to come back. And so we had plenty of time on the train, and I got quite a bit of stitching done. I did most of this bottom section and was able to finish it. I just did a hoop finish. There's my back if anyone cares. I just glued down these edges. I will likely put a fabric, some sticky board with some fabric over the back eventually. I just wasn't too concerned about it right at this moment, and it didn't really have any fabric or sticky board big enough for it, so. But here we go, nice close up. This was 2/2 on 14 count Ada, and it didn't really have a name. I just called it Landscape, and it was from a designer on Etsy. So that's that. The other finish I have in this box is, I've been working on the Scary Apothecary series, and this has a little bit of a story to go with it. So first I'll just share the finishes. I have 3 total done, and I think you've already seen Cauldron Cleaner and Bitter Brew, and then the next one I finished was Cackle Lozenges, Shriek Well, and I also have a whip on this one. I do have another one started. Let's see if I can pull it out. I started Spider Legs. And I got just that top corner. So what happened with this piece is I did take it with me on vacation, and I had every intent on stitching on this quite a bit. I didn't end up stitching it on the way there. I didn't stitch it while I was there, but I did stitch on it on the way back. And what I had done is I had finished this top section, and basically I was mirroring it over here, and it was off because there was supposed to be 3 single stitches in these columns, and I only put 1, so then everything was shifted by 2, and I had to rip it all out, which made me not want to work on it, but I could have pulled through. However, for my Scary Apothecary series, when we went up, I put everything, or I had everything in a Ziploc bag. I had my whip in a project bag, but then I had everything else, the fabric, the extra flosses, the extra Krynic, the finished pieces, everything else in a gallon Ziploc bag. And, I was like, maybe I'll show family, who's interested, these finished pieces, because they're really pretty and they look nice in real life. So I put them in my stitching bag, which I don't think I've shown on here before. This is the bag that I take if I have a lot of stitching stuff I want to bring, and it's more than a project's bag's worth of stuff. So I carry a lot of my Snow Queen stuff in here because she just has a lot of extra pieces. So I put it in a gallon Ziploc bag. which let me give you a bag tour because this bag is pretty nice. I got it from Amazon and it's a bag for stitching. It has this pocket which fits a bobbin box very well. And right now I have a bead box in here and the fabric, and has another thing you could. I had a book in here for a really long time, a pattern book that, you know, you could put a binder in here, it would fit. There's another pocket. On the other side, there's these two pockets which I can fit a bitty board in, and then another pocket here, and then this looser pocket I have the pattern in. I also keep my tablet in here when I'm moving about. And then it has this front pocket, which you can zip. And you have these, which are good for holding some stuff. And then, you know, I've got these pockets down here. And then on this side, there's more of these mesh pockets and a zippered pocket. Believe it or not, this zippered pocket is big enough to hold a gallon Ziploc bag with contents. And that's where I put all my Scary Apothecary stuff. Problem was that I never use this pocket, ever. Like right now, there's absolutely nothing in here. And in all honesty, that zipper's hard to see if you're not looking for it. So I put Scary Apothecary in there. Sorry, I had an itch on my foot. I put Scary Apothecary in there and the Ziploc gallon bag. And the whole trip I kept thinking that I haven't seen that bag in a while. But then I gave myself the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, we'll get home. I'll look for it. I get home, I unpack everything, and it's nowhere to be found. I empty everything out of this bag. I throw a fit. I throw not a full-blown tantrum, but I was definitely crying and upset that I had lost it because it had finished work and tons of Krynic and hand dye or over dyes. Stuff's not cheap. And so I was very upset that I lost everything, you know, hours of work, money, for the products that I had bought. And so I was really upset. And then about a week later, I was getting something from my bag. I was getting some scissors, and I knew I had a pair in one of these meshes. And I pull out the scissors, and I think, this feels a little heavier than just a pocket. It feels like there's something in here. Oh yeah, there's a zippered pouch, and Scary Apothecary was inside. I didn't know if I was angry, relieved, happy. It was definitely a wave of emotions. So with all of that, and having to rip out a good couple hundred stitches on spider legs on a pattern I already wasn't enjoying, because I wasn't enjoying stitching these spider webs and counting that. I don't know why, I just didn't enjoy it. I had every intention of keeping up with Scary Apothecary and continuing to work on it even after the holiday, the Halloween holiday. I didn't have any problem working out of season on it. But after everything that I've gone through with it, it needs to go in timeout for a while. So maybe next summer, or who knows when I might get an itch to pick it back up. It is a very easy set of pieces, like they're very easy pieces to pick up and take with you, which is something I really like about them. And having those kinds of pieces are very good, but I need to put it away. I need to be able to enjoy it. So I need to put it away for a while. When I get that spark back, I will pick it back up. Right now, so I had an idea to use scrapbook boxes to store some projects that like I'm not currently working on, or maybe ones I'm kitting up that I just have a bunch of stuff for that haven't been like put together, if that makes sense. And Michael's was having a sale. I got 5 of them for like $20. And I thought that was a really good deal, and they worked out really well. So I have like Scary Apothecary, and I have the fabric and the patterns and the flosses, and I just have them kind of stacked up. I put a couple of patterns in a couple of them. I have a couple of them designated for certain projects I want to kit up. So good idea. I like them. Let's go into Snow Queen. Let's show you where Snow Queen is. I've done a bit of stitching on her, and I'm almost ready to start beading this bottom section. So I just have to finish, there's a bit of blue, there's a few more rows of blue down here, and then there's a little bit of stitching over here, and then I'm ready to start beading down here. So let's get her nice and close. I think she's coming up beautiful. I think she's great. I really enjoy stitching on her. I really, really do. Let me actually get out the picture for Snow Queen so you can see what she looks like. She's stitched on a 32 count Twilight Blue linen, and she's done 2/2. And this is what she looks like when she's finished. So I've done everything up here, and then I'm working right here. And I haven't decided where I'm gonna go from here. I don't know if I'm gonna work over and work on the reindeer, or if I'm gonna work kind of down. We'll see where it takes me, where the next section goes. I kind of work in smaller sections at a time based on how the pattern is folded and flipped, if that makes sense. Because the pattern splits it like this way with a top and a bottom section. So I kind of worked her head and then her bodice. And then, yeah, so I think you get it. So that was Snow Queen. So what's left is my 2 new starts. And we'll go with the first one. The first one that I started, I have already put about 1,600 stitches in or so. I stitched on it quite a bit. It's not hard to get a lot of stitches done on it though. It's a piece that I'm going to do for my husband, which he is aware that I am doing. It is a Star Wars stained glass, and it's a pattern I got from Etsy. I'm not going to say from who, because I think it's stolen art, and I feel kind of bad about that. It's definitely repurposed. I've seen a ton of sellers sell it on Etsy, but if you just search Star Wars stained glass, you'll just see them. But because it is a very cool piece, I do still want to stitch it. So I will still show progress despite it being stolen art. Here's where I've gotten. I'm going to work it extra. So I'm doing it 1/1 on 32 count gridded white Lugana. And I'm doing it extreme cross country by color, working from the most amount of stitches to the least amount of stitches. So obviously in this piece, there is a ton of black. There are over 60,000 stitches of black on its own. And I'm going to do it in thirds, just kind of what fits in the scroll frame. So I outlined kind of this top section. And then I'm just working on filling in the black. And I'm doing a zigzag edge here just to help with blending and lines and all that fun stuff that people do it for. And those stitches, I don't even know if you can tell what are stitches because they are so tiny. And it is black, so it is very difficult to see. I struggled to work on this without a lamp and a magnifying light because it is 32 count, 1/1. It's pretty difficult to see, but I'm enjoying working. It's a good piece to work on when I don't want to think about anything because it's just block filling a ton of color. So I do like having this piece for when I just don't want to think about anything, don't want to have to look at a pattern. I didn't kit up any other colors. I just bought a ton of 310. A ton. I bought like 7 skeins, or I think about 10 skeins just because it was a nice number, but I don't think I'll need that much. I might maybe only need like 5, but it doesn't hurt to have 310 ever. The next new start I have is my first ever HAID, official HAID. I am doing a stitching shelf by Amy, charted artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing the max color version. And if you're not familiar with Amy Stewart's artwork, I just love this piece. I love the detail. The fact that the designs come together so quick. Like, you get immediate gratification where, you know, within the first few hundred blocks, you already have, you know, pretty flowers coming together. So, this one I'm working on. I have put my first stitches in, but it is probably one of the smallest starts you will ever see ever. I have a scrapbook case with the floss because I am still working on kitting it up. What I decided to do for this is Floss Drops, but in combination with floss away bags. So what I did, so there's floss away bags here. I cut my skein. I cut them into 18 inch approximately length. And then I only took 4 of those lengths and put them on the drop. It's 1/1 on 32. A single length goes very far, especially when you have a max color and it's a lot of confetti. You don't need much of every single color. I also, you know, the floss estimates are for 25 count. 2 over, is it charted for 2/1 on 25 count, the floss estimates? I think they are. And then I'm doing 1/1 on 32, so I need like half of the thread that they call for. So I just got 1 skein of every color, and I'm working on getting them cut. There are 238 colors. This is only about 100 of them. I'm getting there. And this is only about 100 of them. So I'll probably have 2, maybe 3, depending on how packed I'm gonna show them in there, of those. And again, I have this in a scrapbook case because I'm still just working on kitting it up. I have have these bags. So these are the 3300s. I have the floss, the index card that goes in the floss away bag. I have the drop, and then the flosses, and then I just do them by number, in order. So I did the 700, the 800, the 900s. So I have decided, I think, I'm still on the fence, so you might be able to convince me one way or another. I really, really love working from Floss Drops. But, as I am learning with kitting up a HAID this way, Floss Drops are not the most realistic thing to do. They are very bulky, and you know, even if I had Annie's Keepers and I didn't have these bigger ones, they would still take up quite a bit of space. I'm tempted to use bobbins for full coverage moving forward, and I'm tempted to just get 1 full set of DMC and just work from a full set only for the bigger full coverages that I work on. And then for the smaller pieces, you know, something like this, then I'll kit it up and get the individual flosses. But, you know, there is something to be said about flossed wastage. Not necessarily like okay, you finish your Haid and you have this much floss left over. Well, people repurpose it, right? But this is floss that during the 3 years it took me to work on that Haid that I could have used it somewhere else. And so I think there's something more realistic about working from just a single full set on larger full coverages. Again, I believe for smaller kitted projects, I still think there's something to be said about floss drops and kitting them up individually and not necessarily working from a full set. Especially with logistics, you know, I don't tend to take my full coverages with me. You know, I took the Star Wars one, but I'm not hauling around a lot of floss for that. Right now I'm only bringing 310. And I can't even bring it with me anymore because now working in the grids, you can't even see it without a microphone. Anyway, so let me know your thoughts. What do you think about working from a full set as opposed to kitting up individual projects? Do you think it's beneficial with floss usage? Does it allow you? Because my thinking is it kind of allows you to have, realistically, more projects that you're working on. Because, you know, floss for, like this Amy Stewart, right? Floss was about $100 for all the DMC for it. So, you know, there's something to be said. If I want to kit up 4 Haids, that's $400. But if I'm working from a single set, I'm only using the thread that I need, and then I'm just replacing those as I need them. I think there's something a little more logistically, frugally, just makes sense in that way. Yeah, let me know what you think. And I will say, I want to talk about these floss drops for a moment. I made these. I ordered from Amazon. You can get a set of 300 blank business cards, and then I just hole punched them. And they were like $10 for 300. So I think that's a great, they're sturdy enough to work as floss drops. I would say that for this Haid, they might not last for as long as the Haid that I'm working on. But again, that's something I'm thinking about transitioning how I'm working those, and I might repurpose this floss elsewhere. But yeah, I recommend this. It's a very cheap alternative to floss drops, and it's I think it's better than using like thicker cardstock paper and then trimming that, because you have these finished edges. It's hard to describe. Like when you cut cardstock, right, it's almost like not a finished edge, no matter how nice and sharp your knife is. And then you have these, and it just feels nicer. So. The only other thing I have to say is I did receive 2 gifts since I last saw you. And they are both from people named Stephanie. Oh, I forgot I had a patterns I was going to show you. I did receive, I did win a giveaway from Liz. I can't remember her name. I always forget her name. It'll come to me. So they were both from a person named Stephanie. But they were different Stephanies. So this one is a needle minder, and it's like a stamp of a couple lovely ladies. She made this herself, and it is a very strong magnet. So it works very well. It can actually hold scissors. And so it's great. I love it. And then the second gift that I got, also from a person named Stephanie, but a different Stephanie, is this little Notions lanyard. And so I have my scissors on here, which is kind of what they're for, so like you don't like lose your scissors. So it's wrapped around here, and then it also has this quick release, so you can pull them off. And so it's great. These are from Sarah Diddy, and it's sosteady.com. I've been using these. She gave them to me last night, and I've been using them since. Oh, I forgot to actually show you my progress on the stitching shelf. There you go. There's the progress. That's it. These are a couple waist knots, so just ignore those. I have these on a Q snap right now, and I'm not very happy with it. I don't like it on the Q snap with the way I don't like that. I hate working like that. I need to get a scroll frame, but I don't have a scroll frame bars wide enough because this is a pretty large pattern. I could probably trim it down because I do have some pretty significant margins, more than just like the normal like 2 to 3 inches. So I might trim it down, and that might make it small enough to be able to fit on the scroll frames that I have. I'll probably consider doing that, but I literally just started this tonight. I have 4 stitches in. I am going to try parking for now on this. I am going to do row by row within a 10 block, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna do diagonal, across, columns. I haven't quite decided or settled on that yet. We'll see where it takes me. The very first stitch wasn't a just single stitch, just a ninja stitch. This is a very confetti heavy pattern. In the first 200 blocks here side by side, there are 50 different colors. So with parking, there's a lot of rethreading the needle or having to decide to keep your threads on needles. And so what I decided to do was I bought some James John, I think it's John James needles that are easy thread needles. Like you go like this with the thread and it threads it, just to help with cutting down on rethreading, because I have done parking before and that's a time killer. I think once when you're starting a new parking project like this and you have so many colors in the first couple boxes, it is a time killer getting all of the flosses, pulling the threads, getting them, starting them. Right now I'm doing a waist knot. I might change how I'm doing that in the future. I haven't decided. Kind of winging it right now. I just wanted to put stitches in. I couldn't wait, and I don't even have all those on floss cards yet, so I'm having to kind of improvise and cut some as I go, just because of the colors that are coming up. But yeah, that's my itty bitty tiny start. It's pathetic, but that's okay. I think that's it. I think that's all I have. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not going to post another floss tube until at the end of January. I'm gonna, we're already more than halfway through December. I'm not gonna record another one in a couple weeks. I don't think I'm gonna have too much progress to show. So let's just meet back in a month and a half, and I can show you what I've done over the holiday season. I don't have any Christmas projects to work on. Sammy Liz, that's the creator's name that I couldn't remember. Sammy Liz on YouTube. She is SAMMIELIZ. Sammy Liz. I won a giveaway for her. I won 2 giveaways from her for patterns, and they are both from Country Cottage Needleworks. I won January Cottage, and I won Gingerbread Cottage, I think it's called. She also threw in December Cottage, which was wonderful. I was very grateful for that. I do eventually want to do those cottages, so starting a collection is great. Less patterns I'll have to buy. I meant to grab them, but I forgot them, so I'll hopefully remember next month to show you those. Yeah, so I hope this is a quick one. We're on about a half an hour, so it's a little bit quicker. I didn't have as much to show. I didn't have as much to do, or as much time to stitch. I had some other projects, and school came, but I'm out of school for the semester. My last semester for this current degree is next semester, so wish me luck getting through the final couple classes I have to finish my associates before moving on and keep on going. I'll hopefully have some more time to stitch. My mother-in-law is coming into town, so we're looking forward to seeing her, so I might not get as much in, that week, but we'll see. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And a happy New Year. I look forward to seeing all the New Year's new starts. I don't have any planned. I was trying so hard to wait until New Year's to start. I just couldn't wait anymore. I'm not good at waiting. So I look forward to the New Year's new starts. Plans. I don't know. I don't think I shared this yet. Sorry, I'm all over. I keep meaning to end the video, but I keep remembering things. In Full Coverage Fanatics, they do a yearly challenge where it's 21,000 stitches in 2021, 22,000 stitches in 2022. And I think I'm gonna try and do 3 different patterns for that. I know it's crazy. I know it's not realistic, but it's a goal and I'm allowed to have them. So I'm gonna do my wedding photo, the Star Wars, and the Haid. And each of them will be 22,000 stitches in 2022. My wedding photo is 10 stitch, which means I actually have to do 44,000. I did the math, and if you overestimate and say 48,000 and 24,000, it's 2,000 stitches for a regular cross per month and 4,000 a month for tent. And I don't think that's too unreasonable. I could do about 1,000 on a good day. Like if I have a full day of stitching, I can do, over 1,000 stitches. So if I get a good Saturday in, so I might not make it, but I'm excited to see how far I make it into the challenge. And if I don't make it on any of them, that's fine. I'm not going to be hurt or upset that I didn't make it. Especially my Haid, with the max color and the tons of confetti, I really don't expect to be able to make it to 22,000. I'm pretty sure there's 22,000 black stitches, like, here. Or at least, I mean at least like 10,000 that I like easily to like fill in. Actually, I think I did the math and it's about 8,000 just in what you see here that needs to fill in. I should recount, I don't remember right, but there's quite a bit that I wouldn't even need to move my scroll frame for. So it's just black, it's just filling in, there's no counting, so those are going to go by very quickly. So I don't think there'll be any problem getting 22,000 on that piece. My wedding photo, I really, that's the one that I do want to push myself to do. Because that piece is important to me. So my Haid will probably take the back seat. So that's my 2022 plans. Okay, I'm gonna actually end now. Again, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you at the end of January.